Well, good afternoon or evening, whatever the case may be for you. Welcome back. We're just doing a quick update today. This won't be very long like the last one. I'm actually not going to work on anything today. I'm just going to show you where we're at. A lot has happened in the past week. So I thought instead of trying to cover all of it next week, since next Saturday at 3, I think, about the same time as we've been doing, we'll be doing some work on the rocks over here. And that's going to take some time, so I thought I would just show what we've done, and we've done a lot. So, but anyway, I hope you had a good week. It's been a nice week here. We just had some rain, but that's good. So we will get started with this. I will pick the camera up here in a second, and as always, if you have any questions, please let us know. One thing, we have set up some new features on our channel. There is now going to be our product review section, which I just did this today. We're going to be putting this video up probably tonight. This is a glue that is for foam only, and I glued this piece on here, and I only glued this about 2 hours ago, and you can't even move it. It's fantastic glue, so that review will be coming up. We actually will have a section down the bottom, along with like our HO section and all that, and train shows and build section, but we will have a product review section because I've done, I think, about 6 or 7 products so far. Now, I'm not being paid for any of this. I'm going to just reiterate that. I've said that before, I think, but I have not been paid by anybody. It's just if I find something that's good, that I like, that I work with, I share it. So you'll see this along with a few other things. So the other thing is under our post section. There's now, you can share if you would like to. We encourage it if you want to show your layout or your models or your modules or whatever you have to be working on, even just a train picture, of something. So that's fine. Please keep it train related and tasteful, and feel free to do that. Post it up there. We'd love to see images. I always get a kick out of, especially like guys showing, Catzillas and stuff like that. So if you got any of those, feel free to share. So anyway, that should pretty well catch you up on what's going on our channel. So like I said, there are some new things, and we'll have a few new things coming up pretty soon. We're going to divide things down a little bit better and try to get things a lot more organized on it. So, all right, so I'm going to pick the camera up, and I'm going to show you everything that we've had done so far. So here we go.
Willow Creek says hello.
Hello there. I recognize that name, so glad to have you back. All right, so let me grab this and get this all set up here so I can handle it a little easier. Okay, so let me get some lights on first. Here, I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff going. All right, let me get this on right here. So, we haven't added any buildings yet to this, but this has been reorganized now. I do have something to show you. You can see now right here, I just got it propped up. This is the I-beam work. It'll be obviously centered, not leaning against a building, for our elevated line that's going to go right over Main Street, right here, all the way back into the corner and go back out over there, and then come this way and come out over here. So I'm going to talk about this area here a little bit in just a little while about what's getting ready to. We've changed a lot of what we're going to do, so I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. Have to use your imagination on it. Now next week, this wall right here, we're going to have the first of our background buildings, and it's going to go up pretty high. It's probably going to go probably about to this height right here. Well, it's going to be a pretty decent sized building, multi stair stepping effect to it. The reason that we're going to have that is this, like I said before, this whole wall is going to be just nothing but background buildings. So we'll have a great little valley right here for the between the buildings for the trains to come through. So now I just finished this. This is part of it. I've been talking about this. This is the retaining wall. It's not glued up here or anything. Things are just drying right now. I just have it sitting in place. The sidewalk, there'll be concrete over the top. Sidewalk in here that'll be right along here, and there'll be a chain link fence that'll keep people out of the area right here. Like I said before, this is where the station is, and this is just all tied together. I have the other two pieces made. While they're glued together, I ran out of the styrene strips right here. So I'm going to have to get some more of that ordered from Hobbytown, get it in, and get this done. I'll show you the piece over there, but I already have the two glued together, and it's going to come around about right. Let me see, where's my line, right? About right here. And the reason for that is I'll get this on best I can with that in place, just so you can kind of see. Like I showed you last week, here's where the tunnel, or not tunnel, but the bridge is going to come across right here. So this the walls will come right up here to the tunnel entrance, and I'll have some walls on the back side of this. Let me get this back out of the way now. All right, so this is now pretty much complete. Just a little bit of work here. Did a lot of work on this week. Like I said at the beginning, we now have this on here. This will be like this. I'll be taking some of the joint compound and passing it over and smoothing it up. All this gapping here will be completely gone, and then I'll just repaint the area right here like I did over here. So it's all the way down now. You can see I've lost a few of my light sources because I'll get to that here in a second. I just don't have a place to put them right now. So that's what we're going to do. I kind of changed up what we're going to do on the build. I'm going to show you here something. It was kind of in the background. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but that is just a little, this is the foam also. This was a Z-scale lighthouse promontory. And as you can see, you just got some really nice light effects, dark effects, everything right here. This was done with using a black wash over the gray. This is the same gray that's right here. It's the mid-tone gray is the same. So what I've done is we'll do a black wash that'll give you all the cracks, nooks and crannies, everything you'll see really well. And then I'll take the gray that I'm using and I'll do a light mix on it. I'll thin it with white and water, and then we'll do the highlights along the edges right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Probably this area right here. I should have, hopefully, all of this finished up. I'll have at least the black wash on here all the way to here. So hopefully that'll be done to about right here, and then we'll just work on this area right here. So that'll be next weekend at 3. We'll be doing that to get it looking just like that. So then we just keep coming around. Now here's where the new stuff begins. Here's the new shelf. This right here is where the mountain's going to be. So this was my son started back to college this week, so I had to build this without any extra help holding this up. There's no legs on the back, it's all brackets, so this was really interesting having to jam wood under here to brace it while I was trying to get all of this level. Let me get some lights on here. So this shelf right here, these are all orders that are getting ready to go out. So once those orders are out of here, this shelf will be coming out right here, and then I can get the foam and I can start placing the foam all along here, all the way to here, and start building up the mountain. Now you can kind of envision where this is going to be versus last week, just having this big gaping hole right here. There will be a recessed area that I'll cut into the bench work right here and go back a little ways, right to about right here, because there'll be a tunnel here, tunnel portal here, and a bridge that goes across. And that'll be above water and a waterfall that goes, and water that goes back. There'll be 2 peaks right here with the canyon that goes between them. So this is all going to move pretty fast. Once I get the foam picked up in the next week or so, this will be a build that we'll do. Just gluing everything together with that wonderful glue. Getting it stacked and starting to do the carving. So we'll do that on another build. So that's, as you can see, the wood that we had here. We now have this all faced with this. These are all 1x4s that are just, I just screwed down in. These are all flush so that when I start put track down, that's not going to affect it. I mean, this thing is really solid now. And I've got the this coming all the way across right here, and I'll get it finished there and around the corner. I have this cut like this so I just don't kill myself coming in the door. I did that originally thinking this was just going to be like this, but this is all changed over here now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, yeah, so this is all countersunk. So when I get this all finished next week, right here, I'll start laying out the main line up here, and we'll start laying out the track down here. I've got to put a little corner piece like the other right here, so that when I make my curve on the track coming into the tunnels right here, it gets straight almost immediately, so that I can save space to have that where you can see inside the tunnels right here. So I've got to get that taken care of. And I'll start carving the foam for the lakes, and back here, once I start getting that, that'll be where the gravel pit's going. So I talked about how that's going to be the ADM elevator back here before. So
Willow Creek says it looks very solid.
it is. It really is. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I can't budget. It's not going anywhere. And all I used was 1, 2, 3 2x2s, but then all of that. So you can see up underneath there all the brackets that are there. I use those more flush mounted brackets like that instead of the ones that have like have a line, more metal that goes across right here for stability. Because this right here, starting right here, coming all the way across, is going to be the HO line. There'll be a bench work going all the way around right here behind the desk. And that will be just having a basic HO loop, so I can start to have some fun with the HO stuff that I have. And this right here are going to be the back shops. We're going to have 2 big back shop buildings, and we're going to have a transfer table in between them right here. So we move the engines and stuff back and forth. It'll have a main line that comes right out here in front, which will then go along here. Businesses of some sort, haven't decided on any of that yet, but we are going to start building this actual bench work probably next week, because I've got to get this around here for my table. I'll move the chair out here. You can see back behind, I need to be able to get this done back here so I know exactly where my table is. Like I said last week, I put those movers, the furniture movers on them. So now this thing just slides nice and easy. I can just tuck the whole thing back up to about right there underneath the bench work. That's why I need to get the shelf put in, so it'll have something to go up to. It won't go all the way in all the time. It'll give me something to actually work against too, because as most of you know, when you're working on your work table, when you're working on things, and things like the table likes to move. So, and this does on me. It's actually shifted on me a few times while I've been working on these I-beams right here. These are the I-beams, by the way, for the elevated track that we're getting ready to do. Just about got them done. Only got a couple more right here, and then I got to make up another 20 of them. So I'll get that shelf put in, and we'll be doing the same thing with the HO that we did. We'll be putting the brackets here underneath, and I'll probably be attaching to this. Now I'll hide these by putting some sort of an industry around it, HO industry around it. It could be a tall silo or something, or a tall building right here. Wherever I've got those, I'll hide them with a structure. And this corner back here, I try to place this wood right here, where it wouldn't get in the way of me working on the shelves back here and doing scenery and things, and also the angle piece that I'll have to have right here for the curve. Okay, so, and then of course, this is great for hiding all the underlighting I'm going to do to have to shine down here, and all the wiring. And this is so nice and sturdy. This is going to give me a great foundation for me to glue the masonite to, that will follow the contour of whatever I cut foam-wise, because there will be foam on this side right here too, this front edge with rock on the back. So this will finally give me something to put all that to, plus the switches, the on-off switches, or be able to throw the switches for whatever switches we have up here. We'll have a diagram along here that will indicate which button goes to which switch up on top up here. We'll do the same thing down below on the HO. And I push this chair out of the way. Okay, so that's where we are on this. Like I said, this will be just a work in progress. Now, I did get permission from the family that up in the attic, we have a big finished attic. I'm going to be able to get a corner of it, and it's going to allow me to do a very long dog bone in scale layout up there. So once I have finished all of this, I've gotten the track down, I'm working on the scenery, things like that. Upstairs, I got to just get everything cleared out of that corner. and I'll start working on the dog bone up there. What that will enable me to do is run longer trains. Like the long wall, I believe, is about 15 foot. So it's going to be 15 by, I think it's about 10 by about another 12 with the dog bone there. So that's going to be, and it'll be a U shape. So that will be a great place to run 40, 50 car freights. And I'll be able to put the docks up there, things like that. So what's going to happen is I'll get this finished. So this is going to seem like a real waste, but I'm just trying to get things done and figure things out for upstairs. So what'll happen here is when we get to that point, I'll be, now this is not glued down. I think I mentioned that before. All I've done underneath is I've come up underneath with 2-inch screws, and this foam is not moving. What's great about that is I can change things. So I will be taking this whole area out eventually, probably in about 8 to 12 months, right up to about right here. Everything I have here is going to go upstairs. So this big ADM that's going to be probably about 4 foot long, which in scale, that's huge, will be upstairs. This whole piece of foam will be incorporated into that layout. Then I'll re-put the foam down. We'll keep this up front up here, and the city is going to expand. We are going to have a monstrous city right here. It's going to go all the way to the foothills of the mountains right over here. So this is going to have just tower upon tower and low buildings out front. And then what's going to happen is the L right here is actually going to split. I may actually at this point then change it to 2 tracks, and it's going to split and run in 2 different areas through the city. One towards the back, one towards the front, and then meet up over here and then go on out. So that's something coming within 8 to 12 months. So like I said, you know, if you've liked this series so far, this would be a good thing to go ahead and bookmark so that you can keep up with it. Now, here's something that my son suggested I do is turn this building. I did have it like this. And that created a little fountain area right here. But it took up space in the back where I need to have the track. So he says, why don't you just turn it sideways so you can see the 3 diamonds. So we turned it that way, and I think it looks pretty good. So, you know, weigh in if you guys think that looks pretty good like that turned, or if it looks goofy, it needs to go sideways where everything is squared up together. So I'm not going to say which way I prefer it, but I do have a definite way I prefer it, but it just is what it is. So we'll just see if this works better like this. And it does give some differences. You just don't have, I guess, everything straight. But anyway, all right, so here is where this is going to look messy. So I apologize for that ahead of time because I haven't dealt with this end of the room yet. But I want to talk about what's getting ready to happen over here to complete everything up. So here's the mess. Okay, this shelf's coming out. Everything here is coming out next week. All this is gone. I'm going to spot for the refrigerator and stuff. Everything is going to be organized and, I don't know, put somewhere. Probably going to put the refrigerator over here on this side, and then I'm going to probably move shelves over here. Now, you might have noticed that we took the shelf that was right here. It's gone. I actually used it for some pieces for something else. This way, if I need to get out the door, I can get out the door. I have a shelf here. If there's an emergency, I can just rip the shelf out with all the stuff on it. We can still get out the door versus having stuff right here. I did leave the bracket, and I'm going to put a set of brackets right here that I can use just a pin to go into, a little I don't know, latch system of some sort, and the same thing right over here. And I'll just have a piece of wood that can sit on here. I'll put another bracket right here. And this way I've got some yards right here that I can tie into the main lines over here so I can have some staging. All right, so here's where the big stuff's going to be. So coming off this corner right here, kind of bowing out into the room. Once I get rid of this, I'll have a lot of room to get to this closet, a lot of room coming into the thing. So we'll have the track's going to bow out a little ways. Come across, and we're going to attach right here. So what this is going to have to handle, it's going to be quite a thing to engineer. It's going to have to handle 5 tracks plus sidings. So what we're going to have is it's going to come together, and right about here, a bridge is going to start, a double-decker bridge. And that's going to be what you see visibly. So this double-decker bridge is going to come across here, and it's going to be the height of this, to where we can have the low line coming through the lower section of the bridge, and then when the tracks come around here, they'll join up and they'll be on the upper section of the bridge. So then you'll have both tracks coming across and then hooking up over here. Now that's one way that we'll be able to do where we can just run trains on the top up here separate from the trains down below, to where you could run 4 trains, one going each way, both sides, and then we have our 5th line that's the elevated line. So then behind this, we're going to have a backdrop that's going to be behind the bridges. I'll have the base all water and everything with waves and the whole works. I'll have a backdrop. Behind the backdrop, the main lines, all 4 main lines are going to come off again, and they're going to come over here and they're going to go down. The ones that are on the high side will go down, and the ones that are on the low side will come up. And they'll pass each other right here. And over here we'll have a set of switches, and we'll have a set of switches over here, to where if the train is running on the low side right here, it'll be able to come in, over here, disappear behind the backdrop, and work its way up, and it'll come out over here and be on the high side. And the same thing will happen going the other way. There'll be just a cross back there, plus right back behind. We're going to, behind this backdrop where that is, in addition to that, we're going to have 2 staging lines, because this will give me some nice, about 6 feet across of having 2 staging lines right there. So that's coming. So I'll be starting to work on that here probably within the next 2 weeks. I'm just trying to get some stuff here so I get some track down so I can start doing some testing and start testing switches and things like that. So that's where we're at on that. So this will all be, within 2 weeks, we should have all of this done. This entire lower level right here should be done. And I should have the foam in, and we should probably even have the tracks coming through the mountain at that point within 2 weeks. That'll be, so let's see, you'll see that, probably see that. Some of it maybe next weekend when we do the work here. But for sure, the full build 2 weeks after that, I'll have all of that finished. I may even start to have the stuff going across right over here. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Just as fast as I could probably get to it is how it'll get done. So because I've got all the materials here, I just have to pick up some lumber for this area over here, but that's no big deal. So right now, I just thought I'd give you an update on expenses on this. So far, everything here, all the wood, foam, buildings, because we're printing our own, track that I've bought. So everything to this point, the foam back here, the road bed, I have spent less than $200 on all of this. So you can see where we're at. Probably another $100 in foam will get me my mountains, and it's just a matter of carving. I am starting to run out of the joint compound, so I'll have to buy a tub of that, but that's only like $5, and that'll do the entire mountain. So we'll probably have to, well, the buildings up here, these are pennies, or $1, maybe $2 at most, to do a big tall building. So nothing there as far as expense goes. I've got all the lighting I need. I just have to get it arranged somehow. We already have the backdrops that we're going to put across here. I've got to unbox them and get them unrolled so that they're all nice and flat, and then we'll put them on a piece of masonite that we can make nice and sturdy, that can go flat across that whole thing. So I have all the backdrops, so we're pretty well good to go, and that's all under $200. So granted, that doesn't count like power, rolling stock, things like that, but really, in under $200 to get something like this, where I'm going to have 5 main lines. And that includes switches too. I've got a whole box full of switches downstairs that I picked up for $1 or $2 a piece. So it really hasn't been that much. This is still more of the shelving that we've been getting on sale. And all of this down here, that's going to be the HO. We've had downstairs, we paid 99 cents a piece for them. So we've got enough shelving to get all the way around. And to put under here, I'll put another layer under here so I can actually not attach to this table, but I can attach to the wood that'll go around over here. So this is all, so yeah, that's all included in the $200 is pretty much the lower level as well. So fairly cheap on that. But we had done so much that I wanted to do just a quick update, and I know there's a lot of people working right now. We're catching some people at home, probably home from work or at night. So I wanted to get this done so we could put a video up because we'll be archiving this and then making a video out of it, so that the people that didn't get a chance to watch it today during the live stream will be able to catch up with it this weekend, so that everybody will be caught up hopefully by next week when we get ready to do the full build, or the full doing this right over here. So what we're planning on doing is once a week, in afternoon, evening, we're gonna mix it up so that people will have a chance, depending on where they live, to watch it live if they want to. So our next one will be an evening build, probably sometime middle of next week. So we'll have another one of these shorts before we actually get to the actual building right here. I'll update what I've done, like I did here, with everything up to that point. Plus, I may wind up actually doing some carving and things to get ready for the weekend. If I'm doing that, then maybe I'll just plan it out so that we'll do that at the same time with that little live one in the evening. That'll probably be around, maybe around 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, North America. So, but it should adjust for you on how you got it set up as to what time it'll be. All right, so if we don't have any questions or anything, I'm opening it up now for any questions if you have anything about it, or comments about anything that we've done here so far. I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we're probably going to wrap this up pretty quick, because like I said, because this was just a shorty to show you where we were. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this build and seeing everything that's going on with it. When we get into electrical, I don't know. To me, watching people do electrical is kind of boring. But if people say they want to see how we do it, I can always put the camera down low, like here, and aim up to show you when I'm running, like when I'm putting the undermount switches in, and wiring for the various things like the lights and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. I think we're pretty good. But like I said, this was a lot to be done in about 5 days. Get it to this stage, because I've been working on these things too at the same time. So we've got it pretty well done. So if you have no questions, then we're just going to go ahead and probably sign off until next week, about probably Wednesday, maybe Wednesday night. We might do a little live feed then, and do either like a build, like I said, or just talk about what's happened. So I'm going to set this back down. And I'll let my son take care of signing it off. So then we'll just see you next time. Thanks for watching.